It's good to be back. Last upload was around 2 months ago. It's got to be at least 2 months, maybe even longer than that. And I'm not proud of it, but I got a bit sidetracked, and lately I haven't had the drive to make the time to record. But that's a good life lesson for us, which is to always make time for what you want to do and what you enjoy doing. Any activity that could be of benefit to you. For me, one benefit I get of publishing YouTube videos is that it's therapeutic. And I would highly suggest that anyone who has thought about doing so, just do it. I've had different ideas on what to discuss, and I've lost some. Some of them have come and gone with time. Unfortunately, since I've taken too long to record, and I go off of a whim. I'm unscripted. But before I lose this thought, I'm going to talk about the other night when I had met up with a few friends. Went to the local cafe slash restaurant slash hookah lounge in my area that I typically go to, that I've may have talked about before in one of the videos on this channel. And it was a pleasant experience that night. I don't typically go to that place meeting someone or being part of a group. But all went according to plan that night. This was Saturday night. And a bit before we were about to leave, we were beginning to wrap up. We're at our table. And one guy that I've known and one of the other guys has known, actually he is a distant relative. They're both distant relatives to each other. And we're all part of the same community of people. We all come from the same background and whatnot. He showed up. He was across the patio, and I believe I was first to notice him. And I don't get to see him often. There was a gathering a few weeks ago. It's probably been over a month now. That's when I last saw him. Now, he's not my favorite person. Talking about fake people, or how fake people can be. I've tried reaching out to him to try to make plans, try to stay connected. And last time I called him was a few weeks ago, after that gathering, that community gathering. And he never got back to me. And that was a disappointment. But out of the kindness that I have, I waved him down, got his attention, He saw me. Of course, it felt to me at least that he had pretended that nothing had happened. But he knows what he did. People will play dumb. But, well, there are dumb people out there. But in instances such as this, people will play dumb. He smiled, he walked over, he seemed excited to see me. He saw that I was with the guys at our table, and his cousin, I called out his name, said, "Hey, look who's here. He's coming to join us probably." And I wasn't rude, I was welcoming. I had invited him to sit with us, and his cousin was happy to see him because it doesn't seem as though they're too close. He sat, and we were exchanging words here and there with each other. He got introduced to the other two guys that were with us, and he was trying to be kind, but he was definitely being a bit of a kiss ass. I was saying that he was definitely being a kiss ass. And shortly thereafter, he had already planned to meet a couple of other guys that he knows at the cafe. They showed up, and they grabbed a table, another table across the patio. And one of the guys I also know, we used to be decent friends, but he had flipped on me, and he's a bit of an oddball. And in a few moments I'll get to him. Well, then the guy that I'm talking about, fake guy, he brings it to our attention that the other two members of their party showed up, and they had sat themselves, and they were going to join him over at the other table. And he asked us if we'd be interested in joining. And one of my friends, he had driven up from San Diego, and it was getting late. He had to head back. So he said his goodbyes and had to go. And then it was just the three of us, me and the two other friends I had originally went there with. We joined them at their table. Now, this other guy that I used to be close to, who's also close to the other fake guy in my community, he is not part of our community, but he is, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't want to get into too much detail. I'll give you an idea about this one. A few summers ago, he had his wedding at a beautiful hotel in Pasadena, California. And those of you who aren't familiar, it's part of LA, Los Angeles County. And I had been invited. I had actually met him at that cafe. I used to be a frequent patron of the place, the establishment, and we met there. We started talking, started hanging out. We connected well. We would have big groups of people sitting there together. A lot of the guys would smoke. Some would play cards. and we had a good time. It was a good time, good experiences. And where am I getting at with this? Well, a lot of those guys sort of disappeared. I don't really see them there at the cafe anymore. And I usually go to this place. I try not to go to this place too often now, but from time to time when I can, I'll make time to go. I'll sit, I'll relax, I'll try to be productive, do some work, or read a book, watch a show, watch some YouTube. But he invited me to his wedding. Maybe it's been 3 summers ago now. And after that, he disappeared on me. He stopped reaching out. I was wondering what was going on. I sensed that there was an issue. And of course, it's easier for people, it's in human nature, we all know, to be avoidant, to avoid confrontation, to not be honest and direct and share our feelings, and just ghost people, block people, ignore people, be indifferent when opinions change, when our opinions change of others. It's a bad habit, but like any habit, it can be managed, but many people are not mature enough to want to deal with that. They don't want to be better people and avoid those bad habits. And this guy's one of them. I tried calling him. I tried to keep the connection going, and I was asking him, hey, are you fine? Is there a problem? You've become distant. You're not reaching out to me anymore. You're making excuses as to why you can't hang out. You're unavailable. Your behavior has changed towards me. And he didn't want to admit to it. He said, oh no, I'm fine. Come to find out later, through another guy that I used to be close friends with from our community, who of course knows these guys. He had told me that the guy that invited me to his wedding and started acting off after that, he got upset with me. He got offended somehow that I had expressed interest in one of his friends. His friend's sister, actually. And I had messaged her, and apparently he didn't like that for some reason. I wasn't able to find out the details. And that's why he sort of started backing off and distancing himself from me. So the guy's very sensitive and just abnormal. But going back to the moment where we were, we all had shared a table now. And I'm smoking my hookah, and I'm listening into the different conversations going on. Everyone had 2 or 3 different conversations going on, and I'm listening, I'm hearing out the conversation that the guys had. Eventually they started talking about sports and different players that are well known. And this guy, the guy that invited me to his wedding, I'm not going to mention names, to be very discreet here. He would not shut up. He would not stop talking about the same subject. And the guys start getting into an argument talking about this particular player or a couple players and their life stories and what they've accomplished and completely pedestalizing them. And I had nothing to say. I mean, I do give the guy credit. He did acknowledge me a bit. He looked at me, and I was looking at him. I didn't have much of a response to what he was saying. But I look at one of my friends who was sitting next to me, and I gave him a bit of a look, like I rolled my eyes, and it was getting annoying. And they were actually arguing with each other. A few of the guys, they were arguing with each other about, oh, who's better, which player is or athlete is better, who's gone through more tough times and to get to where they are now. Listen, without trying to sound like an asshole, but I am going to have to sound like an asshole because I want to get my point across, and I want to be very direct about it. And many people are like this, unfortunately, and it's upsetting. It's disappointing to see society and humans and how retarded we can be. But there are those out there I'm confident in saying that do agree with me on this, what I'm saying. And it's a bad habit. Admiring people, pedestalizing people that you don't even know, people that don't even know of your existence, that don't care about you, people that are focused on their own lives and bettering themselves and that are doing good for themselves. Stop being a loser. You're a loser if you're into sports. If you're into sports and you don't actually play that particular sport that you're into, let's say, you're not making the money that particular player that you may admire, that you may look up to, is playing, and the money that, if you're not, I'm losing myself here. If you're not making the same money or partaking in the same activities, life activities, to get you to that place in your own life, but you're just talking about other people and their successes, you're a fucking loser. You're willing to spend your money that you work hard for to go to games, to see these events live, but you're not doing anything with your life to better yourself, to manage your life for the better. You're a fucking loser. Don't be a loser. Now, I understand that it's about experiences that we have, that we share with others. I don't want to sound too extreme, in which I believe I already am to some. You know, there are always going to be sensitive people that are going to get offended by me. They can get offended by what I have to say in my videos. They want to be smartasses with me and try to make me feel bad for what I'm saying. But I'm speaking my truth. This is how I feel about it. There has to be a balance. I understand that it's okay if you want to go to a live game, a baseball game, basketball game, soccer, football, and have a good time with people that you know and experience that. Okay, But if you idolize and put people on a pedestal, people that are well known, but again, I'll repeat it once more without over repeating myself, but you're not doing anything with your life, you're a loser. Stop it. Stop it. Get off social media. And I wish it were easy for me to change the world and completely make changes. But all I can do is manage myself, and each one of us individually can make the small adjustments in our lives to better ourselves. But we can't really change the world. But if I can spread the message, and that some others are starting to spread now, I'm all for it. And that's what I'm trying to do here. This is why I don't have social media. I don't want to be distracted. I don't want to focus on other people's lives and what they're doing. Especially people that I don't know. I don't care who it is. An actress, a model, especially females. You're giving females free validation. Imagine a current world where females do not get absolutely any attention on their social media. Let's use Instagram as the best example. And girls will say, females will say, oh, well, when I go to the gym and I'm showing all the skin, barely wearing anything, I don't do it for attention, I do it for myself because I feel comfortable in my own skin. Oh, when I post pictures to my Instagram of myself in a bikini, showing my ass, I don't do it for attention. I do it for myself because I feel good about myself. If that were true, you wouldn't be posting it. What is the point of social media? It is to share. You are intentionally sharing your life because you want that validation. And yes, while it is in human nature to want to be accepted, to want to feel admired, there's a way to go about it. See, I'll admit, this is social media. YouTube is a social media platform of some sorts. And yes, while of course the point of me putting these videos out is for people to see them, sure, I want people to see my videos. I want people to interact with them, with my channel. That's the point of it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making this content and putting it out there. But you don't want to focus so much on others and what people think and people's feedback. You got to stop caring what people think. Because I already know I got a lot of people that don't like me. But I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to let them hold me down. And what's great about YouTube is YouTube, you can actually learn. You get a benefit from YouTube. There are educational videos depending on what you watch. But as long as you don't watch idiots just trying to get free attention, mindless entertainment on YouTube, and if you're watching educational content that you can use to develop yourself for the better, I would say that's acceptable. But Instagram is only good if you're running a business that you are promoting, and that's attention is a currency to females. It's a small business for them, and some of them, sure, they're getting enough views. Some of them, they're making money off of it. But imagine how different society would be now, and how different females would behave now. on better behavior if they were not getting all this free attention with the power of the internet. That's all Instagram is good for, marketing, but not for learning. And I'm not sure what else I can say now. I don't want the video to run on too long, but I'm sure I could come up with more to say on the topic. But this is really the point that I want to get across here. Ask yourself, what are you doing in your life to be at peace? Stop focusing outside of yourself. Whenever you go out, if you're sitting alone, stop looking at people. Stop people watching. Stop focusing on people that you don't know. If you're out with someone that you know, focus on that person. Get off your phone, silence your phone, turn it off, and be in the moment. That guy that invited me to his wedding, he also was cordial, and of course in return so was I, but he showed me that he was never much of a friend, was never really a good friend when he pulled that stunt that he did on me a few years ago. But of course he stayed quiet, he didn't bring it up, he pretended like there was never an issue. But now we're strangers, but I have constantly found myself losing respect for people that are like that pedestalize other people. Even if the person I know has done good for themselves, such as this guy, I know that he's done good for himself, but hearing him talk the way he does, he sounds retarded and like he's got nothing better to talk about. He's not able to have an intellectual conversation, and I lose respect for people like that. Anyway, I'll end it here. I believe that I got my point across, and those of you watching this that can relate, that can agree with me on what I'm saying, as harsh as it may sound, I appreciate you, and I'm sure you've got the message as well, and I'll leave it there.